Football players should be able to kneel if they want. I say kneel. It's the American way to protest peacefully if you feel like something's wrong. Football players should be able to kneel if they want. That's what I say. I think we should all kneel. I think it's important to let people know how we feel about it. Unarmed men, women, and children are being slain every day by an alarming rate of the police. There's no accountability. Heck, they're blaming it on whoever now. They're not even blaming it on the police who actually do it. The Bible talks about that. You know, how they will, pretty much say, it's not our fault that, this little boy in Chicago, 15 years old, got shot in the back of the head when he had no gun. The police blew him away. This just happened. It's like, so what? What are you going to do about it? We're the Chicago police. You're not. Something has to be done about the murders that are happening in this country. Because we're losing Black people every day, white people too, Hispanic people. I mean, they're just taking pot shots at us now, choking us out, coming in our homes. Just anybody who speaks up, it's bad. It's getting so terrible now that they're just making up any excuse and allowing these things to happen. And nobody's doing anything who can do something about it. Our legislation is just, I don't care who's president, if you're not stopping people from killing other people and then blatantly getting away with it, I don't want to hear anything else you have to say. I can't ride, walk, be with my family, drive, go into the store, and feel that I can make it home without being accosted, placed in jail, and or murdered by the authorities. Then there's something definitely wrong. But other countries are asking, why is this country letting this happen? There's something wrong. And when the people in this country are saying it's okay, you know, they shouldn't have been, you know, walking down the street. There's just something wrong. These are human lives that are being lost. And people are so desensitized to it because it's happening every day, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's just going up and going up. It's alarming. It's alarming. Hold on. It's sad. At any rate, are you a jammer? Somebody was jamming while I was gone. Folks just be jamming on your channel. I don't even want to tell you. I'm good. But, so it's bad. So terrible that this country says they're out to protect children, specific children. That's sad. Not all children deserves the same amount of justice. Only certain children. It's a child. Dude has to be born. Has no control over what's going on. Can't vote. Doesn't have the strength, speed, mental capacity to stop you from shooting them in the neck, which actually happened in Detroit. He's a child. 8. Detroit, 8. Chicago, 4. It's a child. We can't take a knee for that. It's a problem. The game is more important. You know what's really the problem? Mentioned this before. When King was marching, only thing that stopped him was how visible the things they were doing to Black people were. In other countries that were our allies, they were like, why are you doing this to them? This is what they're afraid of. Not afraid of nothing else. They're afraid our allies are going to see us and go, you people aren't the land of the free. You people are the land of over 2 million people in jail. You're not the land of the free. I mean, What freedom is there when you drive down the street, get pulled over for something you did not do, and you're dead? Sandra Bland. What freedom is there when you whistle at somebody and you get beat in the face until you're dead? Tied up and beat up with a 38 to the face. And you're a child. Or where your mother gets shot right in front of you. Or where you're laying on the couch, minding your own business, and the police bust in and shoot you in the neck. Oh, what country is this? Where that's freedom. What country is that? Where that is considered freedom. And it's like, the police did it. It's okay. Because they're police, it's okay. They can come in and trash your whole house and kill everyone in there. And it's okay. SWAT team can just come in your house and just blow people away. And no one is accounted for that. No accountability. That's okay. This country is in trouble. Because with that type of mentality, Rome will fall again. Make no mistake about it. The more people you knock off, the weaker you are. You might want to talk to Emperor Nero or, one of them other goofy emperors who thought the same thing, man. We are invincible. Nobody can hurt us. Germans thought different. By the way, the Germans back in those days weren't all white. They were black. Okay, let's get that straight. Germanic tribes were different colors. The Germans thought different. The Egyptians thought different, even though it was a Roman territory for a while. But the more slaughtering you do of your own people, then you have false narratives and tell lies. Battle of Wounded Knee, smallpox blankets, purposely given to the Indians so the disease could kill them. And then say, put it in the movie that it was just an accident, that we slaughtered hundreds and hundreds of people. It's just an accident. It was a misunderstanding. It was an Indian who couldn't understand. He was a deaf mute. And he grabbed the weapon and it went off and it started a civil war. Who you guys think you're fooling? It's only a matter of time before everybody is like, you guys are just evil. That's what is going to happen. It will be, you know what? You're knocking babies off. You're knocking 4-year-old kids off and then going home and eating tabbouleh salad like it's nothing. That's just evil. That's not even, that's unfathomable to me. To just do something like that and just look at the mom dead and walk away like, I did my job. And some people say, that's barbaric. It's just like, don't blame the barbarians. For one, that's not what their names were called. They were called barbarians because people couldn't understand what they were saying. You want to make America uncivilized. We're supposed to be the pinnacle of civilization. You're doing it. People see it. The internet is not hiding. The internet's not hiding nothing. This information is going all around the world. And people see. Rome will fall. It will. It'll fall again. You took God out of this is the same thing that happened to Rome. They believed that their self was God. It's the same thing. Read the stories of what happened to Rome. One person thought they had all the power. I'm telling you guys, they thought they were God. Now they're putting out this false narrative that the Roman city, when it caught on fire, was because of a lightning storm. No, it wasn't. Because the emperor lit the city on fire. Just like he lit Christians on fire with tar and pitch and used them as streetlights. They kill me when they recreate these stories to not make these people, because they're white people, to make them not seem so cruel when they were cruel as hell. You don't have an empire of 50 million. Without being cruel, the emperors would go out and slaughter people by the hundreds of thousands. Just slaughter them. Yeah, same slaughter is happening now. What war are we fighting now? Who are we fighting against? Just slaughtering people. God will not be mocked. You keep killing his children. He'll come for you. Well, the plagues of Egypt wasn't an accident. Those same plagues can happen here. And they will. Those same storms, plagues, locusts, famine, diseases. It's going to happen here. Because America has been starting wars with people who are not even interested in us, killing people by the millions, all for the empire. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. You just can't do what you want. Just because you have the numbers and the power to do it, it just doesn't work like that. Eventually, it will catch up to you. And you're going to see people getting wiped out by mass numbers, by things that they can't blow up and they can't fight back. It's not going to even be a fair match. And it's going to be simply identified as an act of God. Because it's not going to be because some geothermal or because some tectonic plate did this. It's going to come out of nowhere. That's the whole point of an act of God. An act of God can't be explained. No matter how hard you try. Scientists can't explain it. Nobody can. Except the people of God. And they'll just go, that was an act of God. You're going to see people drop like flies. Like these birds you see dropping out of the skies by the hundreds. You're going to see that. And it's not going to be stoppable. The CDC is not going to stop it. The military is not going to stop it. The greatest scientists in the world, which don't live in America, are not going to be able to stop it. And some of them won't want to. Because when your numbers swell to a point where you decide you just want to take over the planet, a planet that was never yours. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. And then you claim the planet, and then you have the power to destroy the planet, H-bombs, all that other stuff. Then you make plans to destroy other people in return that can destroy the planet, dropping a bomb down into the Marianas Trench. Then this is when you're asking the owner of the house to protect it. People kneeling, they're trying to save you guys' lives, your soul. You just don't get that. Because you got a 45 and a badge. So you think it's totally acceptable to shoot a child in the face. They're trying to help you. They really are. They're trying to save your souls. Because you'll be leaving this planet in a few seconds. Even your natural death, it just isn't long. We're here for a few minutes to prove ourselves, to see if we get into heaven or not. We don't do it, we go to hell. That's it. That's all. That's the long and the short of it. I'm going to put you down there for a few minutes. If you don't prove yourself, you're going to go somewhere where you'll be completely separated from me. Completely. And I'll know you're there in agony and pain. I don't care. Because you had a chance and you did nothing. As a matter of fact, you did something. It's heinous. You didn't care. I'm hungry. So what am I supposed to do with you? I'm going to send you away in the everlasting darkness. I don't really have a choice now, do I? The Bible says that heaven will be taken by force. It says that men try to take heaven by force. Their weapons and their knowledge, they're fooled into thinking that it's possible until they start meeting the creators of this beautiful structure we call the planet Earth, which isn't spinning at 66 million miles an hour. It's not spinning at all. It's standing still. It's a still structure. It isn't spinning. I don't know if it's standing on pillars. I don't know how it's standing, but it's still. The earth does not spin. It just doesn't. The scriptures read that it does not move. So this whole spinning around it's another lie. Fed to you by people who want you to believe that they have the power to create things that they don't. You don't. It's a nice try though, but you're lying to us. Heck, I'd love to see what the Earth really looks like. Is it flat? I don't know. But I know it's not spinning around in space like this. That's spinning around in space, by the way. And then there's the sun, and then there's other planets going all the way to Pluto. And I know we've never been to the moon. It's spinning around the Earth. That's spinning around. Those are all lies. Those are all lies. All lies. What do you want to believe? God is not around anymore? I wonder what's in these people's heads when they do this. Oh, I'm going to be okay. I don't know what they want to believe. I would love to talk to an officer before you blow somebody away in cold blood, like the 17-year-old in Pittsburgh recently. The Chicago kid just a couple days ago. And so many other people just within the last week. I just like to be. So you go to court, right? You go to court, you hide behind a badge. And then the court says, you were right. You should have shot a 15-year-old boy in the head who was running away from you. You should have shot him. And then you said he had a gun, which was a complete lie. You have every right to shoot this boy in the head. This teenager. Here's a little, gonna give you a little star. Go home, take a break, take 30 days. You get 30 days according to the union where nobody can even ask you a question. For 30 days, you get what's called a cool off period. No one can ask you a question. Internal Affairs might come along after that, but they're cops too. They're police who investigate the police. So that's no good. You have the union and they protect you. So there's that. You got the courts, and then if the courts, if it's in an area where there's a bunch of black people and a bunch of black people show up who are actually the jury, then the court moves the whole case to a white area where the jury of your peers are all white now. And there's one black person. They do that on purpose because one black person is going to hang the jury. And eventually it'll just get thrown out of court. Hung jury. You going about your business. You're like, yeah, I'm getting paid leave. Right? You get paid leave, you get paid. Start a GoFundMe, Darren Wilson. Get your money, boo. I killed somebody and I'm getting paid. Get that money, boo. Go to church. Oh, Lord, forgive me. I forgive you. He was a child fleeing for his wife. I forgive. Is that the voice you hear in your head? Is it this loud, booming voice that says, it's okay. You killed a mother and the child who had no weapon, but you said that she had a weapon, but you blew her away anyway. You shot the child and the mom. You killed the mom. Because she didn't pay it. It was over a ticket, wasn't it? You know what the ticket was for? The ticket was for her not having a license plate, which the Supreme Court said that you should not have. They said I forgot what the ruling was, but it's like you don't need to have you don't need to register your vehicle. There was actually a ruling on that. But you know why you register your vehicle? Because you give that 50, 60 bucks to the police. This is why they enforce it. So if everybody stopped registering their vehicle, well, all that money that goes to the police would not go there. If they all took that money and put it into a people's union to protect them against what's happening to them, there would be a whole different change of pace. Would be. But you do it because if you don't, the police will take your car, more like steal it, and then lock you up for 7 days, lock your car up for 7 days, cost you thousands of dollars that you don't have. And if you do have it and you don't register your car, they'll just keep doing it to you. Lose your job, lose your house, lose everything. That's the system. You'll just get harassed. People know that they don't have to register their vehicle, but they can't wait to register their vehicle. Simply because the police will harass the hell out of you. Even if you clearly state that you're right. And go to court and present it to a judge. The Supreme Court said that I don't have to do this. Doesn't matter. You will still be surrounded by cops. It's happened in California. 2 black men knew the law. They were surrounded by cops and guns pulled, ready to dust them off. But the cop who actually was talking to them was like, you guys are reasonable. Go to court and fight it. But it was like, why are you even stopping this person? You know the law. They know the law. Peaceful protest is trying to save your souls. Really is. Black people don't have the numbers, for one, and the will. Don't have the will to start war with white people. You got a few people out there who want revenge, but for the most part, they just want to be left alone. But the thing about it is, everybody's human. So when you're just doing it blatantly, people get scared. And fear, it's a whole different animal. It's like, now I'm afraid that my child is not coming home because of you, or my husband, or my wife. Now it's different. The courts cannot protect us because they won't. Because the same people that protect them, we want them to protect us. It's just not going to happen. The courts will not protect us. We are alone. Somewhat. The American courts won't protect us. But the problem is, Black people, although we are outnumbered, vastly outnumbered, we're outgunned, we don't manufacture weapons. We're not Smith and Wesson. We're not Ruger. This is not what we do. You know what Black people do? They breed. Mass numbers. That's what they do. That's what they do. Black people breed. Just like other brown races, they breed fast. The Hispanic people, 15 million of them came in this country in 10 years. 15 million. We breed. Hispanic people are actually Taino Indians. Them and the American Indian and the black people are all pretty much the same. But the Hispanic people look light skinned because of the conquistadors, white people, the Spaniards. But in less than 2060, they're going to outnumber the Caucasians. And they're claiming to be white anyway. It's not like they're our teammates, but they're not exactly our enemy. So you see what's happening here. Black people and Hispanic people are all, we're under the same gun here. We're under the same thing. We live in the same neighborhoods. We're poor for the most part and then got to work our way up to something. We have our music, we have our sports, we have other industries too. A lot of us go to college and stuff like that. Hispanics, their music isn't it's their minds. It's their ability to work as one unit. That's it. Kind of reminds you of another race that is not white, the Asians. Now, when you take these two populations, we'll just take China for one. China is using Africa as a new China, and they're also building in the China Seas, literally making land in the ocean. I mean, just for any cop that watches this, because I'm sure a lot of you, one of you, two of you might watch it and that guy. Make sense of your future before you go out and do something else to anybody else. Just think about this, because whatever you do is going to be found out. It is. It's going to be televised. It's going to be found out. And even if we don't know where that person is, or even that they're just on a missing persons list, it's still a list. It's being counted. It's a census of people who are going missing and what race they are, what gender they are, how old they are, what hood they came from. There's still a list of that person being gone. Just think about this. This list often hits the internet. The internet recently, in the last election, has been the enemy of the United States. Because of who? Russia. China and Russia are allies. European countries invaded Africa, took their land and won't give it back to them, raped and pillaged and maimed and killed, took their land. Africa, which really his name isn't Africa, it's Ham. It's named by America's Vespucci, who was a Frenchman, just like America is America. But anyway, also named by a Frenchman. But nonetheless, Africa, China wasn't named China, is being used for the human resources. Can you backtrack about 5 minutes ago what I said about Black people? What do? They breed in mass numbers. What does China need? Bees. China has money, so they're building infrastructures in Africa, which doesn't make them a friend of Africa, but it does make them allies. If China keeps building in Africa, they're going to want to do what? Protect their interest. Do you think the black people will say, nah, because the UN has let famine, starvation, and European people come over here and rape our children, literally, screw our sons, and then dip back off into some part of Europe, and our police are too weak to even fight. So we're going to side with them, the rapists, the pedophiles, who purposely destabilize our countries. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And or the Dutch, who raped our diamond mines and then caused the war that killed millions of people just in one country, and is allowing the corrupt governments in Nigeria and Botswana and all those other places to exist. They have their government that you can't even vote against without ending up dead. We're going to go with the Americans because they just been absolutely great to us. Or you're going to go with the Asians, who, to my knowledge, hasn't killed anyone, taken over anything, and is now putting Africa to work. See, there's a marriage between the Asians and Africa because they need each other. See, there's a need there. There's not a want. China needs more space. So they're buying it by infrastructure. I'm just an old guy. I don't know anything. Tell you what I do know, though. I'm hungry. Oh, man.